Here is the ceiling fan I'm using to move the heat around from my wood stove, but I can hear a lot of grinding and that motor is out of balance, so I'm just gonna replace it today. Now, if you have high ceilings like I do, just get yourself a 10-foot ladder so you can remove your fan safely. Now, I'll put links in the description to the fan and the tools I'm using, but I will be removing 2 screws from each blade using a Phillips. Then I'll remove all the blades, then start working on the ceiling to remove this fan. I'll speed things up here because I am repeating the process for each fan blade, but again, each fan blade on this model has 2 Phillips screws that I'm using a Phillips screwdriver to remove. Once I've got all the fan blades out, I'll take those down. Now it's going to be much easier for me to climb all the way up and work at the ceiling. Here, I'll remove that cover plate, and now before I can actually take the fan down, I have to disconnect all of the wiring. So there should be a black, a white, and a ground. I do recommend taking out the bracket that holds the ceiling fan to the ceiling, especially if you have a new fan model. There's a good chance that that old bracket won't work with the new fan anyways. So 2 3/8 nuts along with a washer and a lock washer are what are holding my bracket to the ceiling. So I'm just using a 3/8 inch socket to loosen those, then I'll spin them off by hand and take that full bracket down. You do want to include those lock washers as this thing does vibrate. Here's a quick shot of the bracket I just removed from the ceiling, and you can compare it to the new one that you get just to make sure that all of your hardware will work. Now, because I have sloped ceilings, I am using this adapter kit. So to the junction box, I'll be attaching this metal bracket, then the ceiling fan mount, and then of course I will hang the ceiling fan in that slot, and then there's a new cover with a sloped side to go on the ceiling fan. This is just a short clip of me installing that mounting plate to the ceiling for the first time. As you may recall, there is a round plate that's also supposed to be mounted that was in my back pocket. So I actually did take this down after I realized it and then didn't hit record on the camera when I mounted it to the ceiling a second time. With the mounting bracket secured to the ceiling, let's start working on the fan motor. So now I'm disconnecting the down rod, and so there's 1 screw that I will remove, and then I can pull that down rod off the fan motor itself. There's going to be a second screw which holds the hanger ball to the top of the down rod. And before I slide all that off, I do have to loosen all of the wiring. There does seem to be a lot of wiring, but you are going to need a good amount of that to get it through the longer down rod, which I have laying in front of the fan itself on that dog bed. So once I start sliding all these components off, I am going to be using my new adapter kit. So that upper canopy I won't be using because I have a new one. So once I've got everything slid off, now I'm just going to take that short down rod off the top of that motor. And with that removed, now I can start with my longer down rod. So I've got a 2-foot down rod because of the height of my ceilings. So I'm just going to put those wires together and slide them through this down rod. Once I've got a good amount of it in, I'll just pull it out through the other side, and then I'll just snug that down rod into the top of the fan motor. So once I've got that in the right place, you do have to kind of get that screw around those wires, but you're just going to slide that wire through and then snug it down with a Phillips screwdriver. All right. With your fan down rod mounted to the motor itself, you can start putting the other components back on. Now, the first thing that I'm going to slide on is a little plastic sleeve, and what that's going to do is it's just going to secure the fan to the down rod so that it doesn't swing when this thing is running. So then there will be a lower canopy that will cover it. This is really more for aesthetics than anything else. So I'll slide those down. I'll get it positioned, that sleeve into place, and then I will just screw down that bottom canopy. Now I'm putting on that upper canopy that came with my adapter kit for the ceiling, and then I'm threading those wires through that hanger ball. Now I'm just going to insert a cotter pin that holds that hanger ball to the top of that down rod, and then I'll make everything snug with a little set screw that's in there. With everything assembled, you can now take this new fan and get up on that ladder and hang it from the ceiling. So here I'm going to be making sure that my power supply wires are out of the way. I don't want them getting inside the knuckle where I need to place that hanger ball, and then I'll get that into place. Once you've got the hanger ball in place, you do want to spin it until you feel that notch catch in that hanger ball. That will keep it from spinning when you power the fan. Now with everything assembled, now what you need to do, I'm just going to cut the extra wire that I don't need. I do want to have a little bit of slack, but now I'm going to kind of follow the instructions with your kit. But I'll put a link in the description to the tool I'm using, but I just need to strip about a 1/4 inch of covering off each wire so that I can put my wire nuts on. And when you do the wiring, you are going to go black to black, white to white, and then ground to ground. Now, with my particular model, I do have a remote control. So what you see me doing now is I'm actually hooking up a receiver to the power supply, and then from the power supply, there'll be another set of wires that will connect to the fan itself. So it's pretty simple if you just follow the instructions. So a total of 6 wire nuts is what I'm connecting. My ceiling fan does not have a light, but there is a blue wire in case your model did happen to have a functioning light with it. So once I have all that put together, the receiver kind of fits underneath or inside that bracket, I should say. And here you can see I'm just finishing up those wire nuts that connect the wires from the receiver to the fan itself. That will allow my remote control to function. Now I'm just going to get all those wires tucked and then put the upper canopy in place, and it will slide over 2 screws that kind of hold it snug to the ceiling. Once you've completed this part of the wiring, there is one more electrical concern that we need to take care of. Now, because this fan operates off a remote, I no longer want the rheostat, which is plugged into the wall. So, in fact, the rheostat can actually damage a fan that doesn't use one. So I am removing the rheostat from the wall, and I'm just going to be putting on a normal wall switch. Now, because of the style of my kitchen, I went with a paddle switch. And so here you can see I'm just finishing up the wiring, and then I will put that next to another switch for my under cabinet lighting, and then I'll just throw that cover plate back on. Pretty simple, and now we can get back to the fan itself. You don't want to forget to do this though, or you could damage your fan. So now we're putting the blades together. So the blades assemble really easily. The wooden slats, typically you have to hook them up or attach them to a metal bracket. Mine takes 3 screws, and it's the same process for all 5 blades, so I skip over that. So now we're back up on the ladder, and there are some little protective foam pads that just kind of, these are just in there for shipping and handling. You need to remove all those so that your motor can spin. And now we're just going to slide each blade in and then snug it down. Mine uses a Phillips screwdriver, but follow the instructions that come with your fan. And here's our fully assembled fan. Thanks for watching. Check out the description for more information and hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more videos.